Welcome back to Comics, the only podcast on YouTube. I was going to say something. The only podcast on YouTube where me and my mom go through our comic book collection. How about that?
That sounds good.
Today, we're starting off with a Marvel comic. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, number 45, featuring the Vulture and his red eyes.
He's creepy.
Why not just, if you have them changed, just throw them in the furnace? Do you have to put them in a coffin first?
It's the James Bond villain conundrum, you know?
His feathers are going to get burned.
His feathers are, yeah. What is the Vulture's origin story?
I don't remember. I think he's an old man that bought a vulture costume. This is from 1980, 7 years before I was born.
Okay, so I was a junior in high school.
Well, you know, Vulture's always been kind of a lame villain, in my opinion. I don't mean to be too
He's a
truthful.
muscular old man.
I like how he's got that fur collar around. Is that a thing that vultures have? Like a little white ring of fur?
Well,
Vultures are known for having green bodies with lines on them. Are vultures green?
odd. No,
don't
but that
think
could be
so.
the iridescence. You know how some birds have an iridescence to they're black, but their feathers have iridescence.
I feel like the best version of Vulture I've seen was the one in the movie with Michael Keaton as the Vulture.
That was pretty good.
I was
yes.
skeptical of that, but I thought he did a good job. But normally, he's kind of a dork.
Vulture or Michael Keaton?
Either one. That's his nephew. That's the Vulture's nephew, Malachi.
Okay, so the Vulture is old then.
Yeah.
Okay.
He must be pretty old.
He's got to be.
They kind of look similar, though. They're both bald. Runs in the family.
This guy cares little.
He's got a sore tooth. So I guess last issue, the Vulture used some like knockout gas or something to subdue Spider-Man. And now he's got him tied up in this box. And it's not even the same shape as the cover. In this cover, it's like a coffin angle
Yeah, it's
style
like an
box. Now this is
old-fashioned-
just a rectangle.
Well, coffins are rectangles.
Yeah, but this one's different. It comes in...
It's like the Old West stuff.
They should have talked to the cover artist and got on the same page for 40 cents. Anyway, they're sending them to get cremated.
Well, and you know, you don't get cremated in a fancy coffin like
It
the
seems
one on
like
the
a waste
cover.
of a coffin.
Right,
Just
you
burn
get
the
cremated
body.
in like a cardboard box or.
Styrofoam. You gotta pay extra for that one. Put a hole in the ozone. One thing I will say for this comic is I like the character design of the Vulture. His eyebrows are really big, and I don't know.
That also runs in the family.
He's really cartoony in this one. So anyway, he's talking about how his plan is finally coming to fruition, and it's all Spidey can do to stay awake. Not because he's so bored, but he has gas. They
gassed him,
yeah,
okay.
The Vulture's nephew gassed him. So instead of waiting to see if Spider-Man will burn, they let him just slowly, the conveyor belt brings them in, and they all leave. Well, our
Like
job
you
is
wouldn't
done.
push, you know?
They're having cocktails. And so he uses all of his strength to stick to the ceiling. And normally he'd be able to break the chains, but he's still groggy from the gas. And so he sticks to the ceiling with his spider powers. The bizarre spider-like suction of his hands and feet. It's bizarre. And, yeah, he's waiting for his powers to return or to be less foggy. Meanwhile, the Vulture and Malachi, his nephew, are toasting. And they're like, after the butt whooping that Spider-Man gave us, I'll drink to that. Meanwhile, though, Black Alfred shows up. This is Black Alfred. He's one of the mob leaders. And it turns out...
That's his name?
Yeah, well, that's his nickname. That's like his mobster name is Black Alfred.
Okay.
They say his full name later on, I think. But he brings this trinket. He's like, I got this prize that you asked us to find. And he's like, it was a trick, you idiot. and he punches him.
Smack! Wow.
His whole point was to make all the top mobsters like go after this prize in the last issue or two, and he knew that they would kill each other trying to get this thing for Vulture, and that's what happened. Black Alfred came up on top, and he killed all the other
Okay.
competition. So now all Vulture has to do is get rid of Black Alfred, and he's the new top mobster. That's his big plan.
Wow.
So he punches him.
Wow.
30 combat marines for $2. I like that face. He's got some good facial expressions in this issue.
He
I'll give him
does. He's
that.
got some hubris.
Not only does he have thick eyebrows, but like his eyebrow, like his fleshy eyebrow ridge and bone is really pronounced. You see that? It's like flesh colored. It's a weird look.
It's intense.
So Black Alfred tries to fight back, and he's no match for the Vulture. He might look like an old man in a green suit, which he is, but he's got a power pack, I guess, in his suit that gives him superhuman.
Oh.
It's just like a pack.
It's like hydraulics again?
Basically. You would think, it's like, where does he put it? It looks like a pretty skin-tight suit.
Yeah.
But there's a power pack in there somehow.
I like Alfred. My wrist. No, you're an old man. You can't hold me.
It's the Vulture, fool. Can't apply your puny ideas of strength to him. So anyway, Malachi doesn't notice, though, that the heat is shooting up in the cremation room because the casket got stuck sideways and it's like burning on the conveyor belt and creating a bunch of smoke. All of a sudden, boom! It explodes, and Spider-Man webs himself to like get out of the blast. He's like, the furnace, I forgot to shut it down.
Oh, my.
I don't think it was that he forgot. It just wasn't supposed to burn the casket on the conveyor belt.
You think they would have left somebody to watch?
Yeah, Vulture's not very careful. He doesn't care much for his men either because he scoops up Malachi. He's like, let's get out of here. And all these guys are like, hey, the Vulture just left us to die.
And then they're blaming Spider-Man.
I know.
It's all your fault.
Well, once they see him get his strength back and snap these chains, though, they're like, can you save us, please? So Spider-Man jumps on the ceiling, and he's like, I'm getting out of here. And they're like, you got to save us, Spider-Man. I thought you was a good guy. Oh,
Wow.
we got to stop and look at this Whoppers.
Oh,
I know that you like
Whoppers.
Whoppers. I don't really like the crunchiness of Whoppers. I don't like the way it feels in my teeth, but they taste good.
I don't think the Whoppers are meant to chew. I think you like
Really?
let the chocolate like melt and then
I just crunch them
melt it.
immediately.
Really? That's,
I've only broken
that's like
3
eating,
teeth.
It's like eating chalk.
I eat them like breakfast cereal without milk, though.
No, I think you melt it and then you let the first layer of the malted milk part.
Spoken like a true Whoppers aficionado. I know you like Whoppers. I've been to the movies with you before.
I like the Whoppers.
They're okay. I guess all throughout history, people have enjoyed Whoppers, though, from King Richard III to Ponce de Leon. Sam Andrea. I guess that was named after a guy named Sam, the San Andrea Fault.
If only
El
Ponce de Leon
Tropiador.
looked like that.
He did, historically.
You know, when I was a kid,
That's
we
a
went to
photograph.
Florida
That's on drive.
for vacation, and we went to the, you know,
Fountain of
where
Youth
he,
or whatever?
yeah, and drank from it. It's gross.
Where is it?
It's gross.
Fort Lauderdale or
No,
something?
where is it? I can't remember the town it's in off the top of my head, but it's down in Florida.
Miami?
It was, no.
Mm.
No. I can't
Eternal Youth
remember.
Spring City?
Yeah.
Well, I almost revealed my favorite ad, but we gotta wait to get to it. So he punches a hole in the ceiling and he says, just like Paul Simon said, one man's ceiling is another man's floor. I don't remember that
What?
Paul Simon song. Do you?
Does he have diamonds on the soles of his?
Yeah, that's what he should have said. So he webs them up, and he's like, "Get back, I'm first." So even though
Oh,
they're being rescued by the hero that they were trying to kill, they're still jerks in the process. He kicks that poor guy in the face.
jeez.
I like this. Are we all accounted for? Good. Now stick close, and I'll lead you all out of here. Come on, step lively. I don't want any dawdling or talking to your neighbor. He's like, maybe I've been a teaching assistant for too long. There's a typo. They used the wrong T-O instead of T-O-O. I'm starting to sound like Mr. Rogers. Woo! That wasn't a siren in the background. That's one of the guys. I like how evil this guy looks.
Yeah.
Oh, and this will come up later up. Oh,
what a
wow,
dweeb.
he's like melting.
But look
a
at this
little
guy.
bit. That guy.
He's got
his face is merging with that guy's shoulder. He's a melt man.
He's got vulture-like eyes.
Well, they were going to escape, and this will come up later in the comic, but it turns out the webbing, he's got a new formula for his webbing that makes it super strong. It's stronger than piano wire, according to this guy, who has broken piano wire before, I guess.
His bare hands.
So the cops catch them.
Laughingly.
And, meanwhile, the Vulture and Malachi have escaped, but Black Alfred is lurking, and he wants revenge.
He should have.
I know. That's a weird facial expression.
To go from this
I
to
feel like
wee.
I think this could be a meme of some kind. He's looking at you all
Wow.
weird. He's funky. Those eyebrow ridges.
I think it's more to mimic that bird-like quality, but
Look at that face on him.
But Malachi, he's got a lot of the same.
Black Alfred was going to shoot him because he doesn't see him in the shadows. And then Malachi jumps in the way and he dies in his purple pants. He looks just like Alfred or something, doesn't he? From Batman. He's got the Joker's pants on.
The Joker's pants. But Penguin has the Joker's pants too, so.
Yeah, everybody's wearing the Joker's pants these days.
They're the bad guy pants.
They're trendy. So he dies. I do like the yellow switches to red. The background is blue, yellow, red. And it like becomes more abstract because you've got the city details around them, and then that starts to fade, and then in this dramatic moment, it just becomes a solid
Did they tell
color.
you more about Malachi before he sacrifices himself?
He collected model trains, and no, I'm just making it up. Let's get to the important thing: Hulk's utility belt. You know, how Hulk always has a utility belt like Batman. It's only $5.99. It has a gamma radiation detector, a Hulk voice modulator, Hulk wrist gauntlets like he wears, and self-adjustable one-size-fits-all. So it's as you Hulk out, you can get bigger with you.
What?
And you can get some figures of everyone's favorite characters: Spider-Man, Hulk,
Penguin.
Captain America, Penguin. They couldn't have put Batman in there. He's wearing the Joker's pants still.
Robin and who is that? Ms. Marvel?
That's Wonder Girl from Teen Titans, isn't it? It's not Wonder Woman, but it's like, or unless it was. Did Wonder Woman get a character redesign for a little while that looked like that? She's a DC character, I think, though. We've got 3 DC and 3 Marvel. They really went with the A-Team Marvel characters, and then everybody wants a Robin figure. I like how short his pants are. This is my favorite. Gregory, maybe. Grigori. He's a big bad vampire bat. He's a bat model that has like an exposed organs. So you can put your finger in his mouth and see what happens when you squeeze him. You can look at his see-through belly and watch the red liquid flow.
As if he's sucking your blood.
I guess. See if your friends dare stick their fingers between his fangs and wiggle his wings or shake him and watch them flap.
His feet creep me out.
Yeah, it's like he's giving the okay sign or something. Or they're a little weird. Instead of having toes, he's just got like little circles.
Yeah,
I wonder, did you know anybody that had Gregory when you were growing up?
No, I think I would have wanted it, though. I would have asked for it.
I
don't know as a junior in high school if I would have, but as a kid I would have. I would have.
Did you have a Hulk utility belt?
I still have a Hulk utility belt. God, I'm wearing it now.
That's a
Oh,
facial
man.
expression. Oh my god.
Oh, he's pissed.
He's losing it. Well, he goes into a blind rage and almost beats Black Alfred to death because he loved Malkai. He was his only living relative left, and he killed him. And so Spider-Man's like, are those Joker's pants? He crossed his legs as he died. He's very formal. He's
very formal.
I don't know if that's formal. He's casual in death, actually. He's crossing his legs. And he's like, I better stop this before he kills him. And they're talking about how his jaw and cheekbones cave in.
Ooh.
Doesn't quite look like that, but damn.
Ooh, he sees only death. Yeah. That's dark.
So he gets the drop on him, but he's really strong because of that power pack. He says, the power pack in his flying suit boosts his strength to a point where he's almost in my league. Why not say he is in his league? It's like deflates the tension. But he's like, he's almost as strong as me. But he's not. But he's almost.
And he's almost
I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight a villain that is more strong than him. Yeah, this guy's getting some of the Vulture facial expressions.
Wow.
So the cops come and break up the fight, and Vulture escapes, but Spider-Man's like, I can't let him get away in that green lined suit. So he webs his foot and rides along with them. And they're like, did you see that? He got away. And he's like, this McDonald's franchise I was thinking about sounds better all the time with all this crazy crap happening. He's going to quit being a cop and open up a McDonald's. So he's like, whatever happened to old people getting slower as they age? And he's whipping them around.
Oh, that's an interesting position for him.
Yeah, it's really got like a whiplash because he's like changing directions fast. That's a good way to show how uncontrollable he is, because this is the Vulture's like natural domain. He has air superiority.
I know. I like how they're portraying the poses of the Vulture as he's flying.
Hey, bubble yum. Maybe we could add that to our list of snacks, candies to try if they still make it. I haven't seen a bubble yum in a while.
I have not either.
Looks like their bodies are made out of bubble yum. Kind of weird. Anyway, he's dragging Spider-Man against these buildings, trying to lose him.
Like you do. Wow.
I like how big the panels get here. I guess
so he can fly, but does he have like super speed?
Yeah, he's got. I guess that power pack gives him fast reflexes and strength. But it's like if he's already old, does it just bring him back to normal?
Oh yeah.
I like this tattoo with this. What do you what do Marvel superheroes do on their day off? I do the word webs. It's like a variety magazine. I sleep.
Poor thing. Ah.
It's like Captain America's got a little bit of a gap in his teeth there.
Hulk is wow.
I put it in my utility belt.
My gauntlets.
We'll have to do a Dazzler issue. We have Dazzler #1, I believe.
I have a couple of the Dazzler, but they're not. Yeah, I think that
it's the first disco superhero and
yeah,
last.
But if we're gonna do it, we should do it with a very low #1. And I have one that's a little higher, and it's like I'd like to see the origin story.
I've got #1 or close to #1. I'd like to see the Dazzler saga from the start. So he whips Spider-Man over and does a little maneuver where he can punch him as he's getting close to him. And crashes him into this like staircase thing on top of a city roof. He rips his costume. He's like, I'm going to play dead.
Okay.
And actually this is a callback because I guess he did this when they fought before. He's like, I'm going to play dead, and then when he comes to finish me off, I'm going to sock him one in the face. Look at his teeth. He looks crazy.
I think he is, though. Isn't he? Like,
well, he's lost his
just
nephew.
Enraged all the time.
Looks like his teeth are like separating in this. He's got like two
that's a nice
big
touch.
Teeth.
Yeah. That's an intense punch. Looks like it's coming out of him, you know?
I like how his eyes are so closed in so many of them. He's like squinty, and it's like he's got so much eyebrow flesh that he can't open his eyes. His eyes are closed in a lot of the drawings of him.
Yeah.
It makes him look more evil. Look at how bumpy his damn head is.
I
It's got
think
like he's
that,
got a butt crack on his forehead.
wouldn't that make you evil?
Yeah.
I think that out of all of Spider-Man's foes, he's the more intense looking. You know, his face is just
He's the
intensely
ugliest. Is that what you're
angry.
saying? He
Well-
was playing dead too, though. And Spider-Man dodges it a little bit because of his Spidey sense, but he goes to karate chop him or something. He knows karate. He probably got strong arms.
$5.
Yeah,
Nothing else to buy.
$5. Let's see.
Oh man.
Remember how many times you felt left out because you were broke? Places the gang was going and you couldn't. They all had money for the movies, games, hamburgers, and soft drinks. All of them except you. Grit! Introduce Grit to friends, relatives, neighbors, and others. America's greatest family newspaper since 1882.
I wonder when that went out of print, or if it is, because we got it.
You got Grit?
Yeah, I knew what Grit was, and they had ads for selling Grit in Grit, and I thought, well, that wouldn't be bad, because we were always out riding our bikes with our friends. But we lived in the country, so in the city, a city block is pretty small. In the country, it's a mile each.
Oh, yeah.
Square,
Like if
each
I
part
went
of the
around
square.
a few blocks of our neighborhood here, I could
You could,
sell Grit left and right. You'd have
but
to,
in the
you'd
country,
have to freaking walk half an hour just to sell one of them.
yeah, it was. It sounded like a good idea for 5 seconds.
Well, maybe you didn't have enough grit. Real grit means you walk uphill both ways
In the snow,
for your nickel.
barefooted.
So he's trying to get away.
That's
and we're doing the same old
nice.
thing. He's
That's a nice pose, though.
yeah.
That's a
I like the way
nice
his wings come
panel.
up. That's cool. But he tags along, and they crash into Grand Central Station here.
Whoa!
And
It looks huge there, but then it's beep.
I know that window must be gigantic. I guess I've never seen Grand Central Station, but maybe it does have a gigantic window. So they break through the window, and this poor person, land of Goshen. I like how small the type is too. Like they're not yelling it surprise. They're just like mumbling it or something. He calls him Vulture. He knocks Spider-Man into this big tower in like the ticketing booth area. This it's like a clock tower.
Wow.
And
Vulture puts up more of a fight than you'd think he would. You know, it seems like some of the other fights Spidey gets into end a lot quicker.
Yeah, he's
Fruit
a tough
pies.
customer. Yeah, we got a Hostess fruit pie. I don't think we've seen this one before. Hulk versus the Roller Disco Devils. Speaking of disco, the Roller Disco Devils have been terrifying the town.
Oh my god.
Yeah, baby. Whoa, whoa. It's a disco song, apparently. Wow, things are really they're scared of the disco devils. Wow, things are really bad. Yeah, our moms won't let us out of the house. We can't even buy some Hostess fruit pies. Someone else is very upset by the devils. Hulk not like loud noise. Rock, roll. Yeah. What kind of song is that? I like how they're all gritting. They're smiling so hard. It's gonna break their teeth.
Oh
This
my
would kill them.
God.
This would just kill people. You like to roll? Okay, roll. It looks like one of those Swiss cake rolls. But it's actually crushing all of their bones.
Yeah.
Now streets safe and quiet. Yay,
Wow.
hey, now we can get all the Hostess fruit pies we want.
Thanks for
Hulk.
killing everybody, Hulk.
The poor little crushed roller skates.
Oh man.
I like the real fruit filling. Apple, cherry, peach, too. I like how Hulk kills. Wow, that's great crust. Why can't all humans be nice like Hostess fruit pies?
Wow.
So
That's
another thrilling tale from Hostess fruit pie. That's one of the most cartoony faces they give him in this one.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
starting to show his age in that face.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon or something, and then he's like, oh, I'm really feeling my age.
his teeth are gone in that one too.
Yeah, his dentures fell out after he got punched, I guess. So, he's about to escape after they exchange some blows, and Spidey webs the guns. He's like, there's no reason to shoot him.
Isn't that crazy? You'd think that be so mad with somebody like the Vulture just pummeling you.
Go ahead and shoot him.
Yeah.
I tried to subdue him. He doesn't want to give up. These two homeless gentlemen are like, damn, we should have gone back to Penn Station. It's safer there with all this crazy stuff going on. And you know what the undoing of the Vulture is ultimately? He crashes into a glass window like a bird. In his haste to leave, he's a little groggy. He doesn't see there's this huge glass wall, and he crashes right into it. And he's like, at the speed he was going, he's lucky he didn't break his neck. Poor guy. He killed Malachi. Killed my nephew. All alone now. All alone. It's like, you better get him to a doctor in prison.
He's just like an old maniacal Mr. Magoo.
Basically. Well, Mr. Magoo was pretty maniacal. He just couldn't achieve his evil goals because of his blindness. Meanwhile, he goes back to the Daily Bugle. He's like, look, they're fighting Spider-Man and the Vulture down at Grand Central Station. You missed it. And he's like, well, somebody better go down there because I'm tired. And that's pretty much the end.
That's it? He doesn't work for J. Jonah anymore?
Well, I think that was just like another co-worker. J. Jonah's, he couldn't make an appearance. They couldn't afford him for this comic. You could learn to be a draftsman at home. You learn fast when you train at home.
Plus free drafting aptitude test. You grade yourself.
Hey, I like that.
I'm a draftsman.
Ooh, moneymaker.
Man, I remember being a kid and just looking at every single one of those little pictures and thinking, I want it.
Me too. You could get a bald head wig and be like the Vulture. Because it come with little eyebrow humps.
We actually did get a spud gun.
Spud gun.
But it didn't work very great.
No.
Arrow through the head. Why is his head shaped like that?
Giant evil snake. I like to. It's not really evil. He's pretending.
Silent dog whistle. Yeah, we got one of those. That was
pocket spy scope. That's a little creepy. You can watch people in their bathing suits. Look at that. Can put snappers under somebody's foot and scare the crap out of them.
Oh, good
He's
stuff.
got a nuclear
what is that? Whoops.
mushroom cloud behind him. He's like, shh, don't tell anyone I nuked.
He's coming out of the bathroom.
Atomic mini pistol. It's atomic. Fake chicken. Why do you need to put it in quotation marks? If it's fake, we know it's fake. You don't need to also put it in quotation marks. It's a weird choice. Mini spy camera. That's pretty cool. It's only $1.95. If I could go back in time, I'd buy all this stuff.
We did get one of those little cameras, and it was just big enough for the film little canister to go in to just snap in. But it was small. It had key ring.
Did it work?
Fob on it. Yeah, it didn't take great pictures because the lens was plastic. But
for a second, I thought it was a whistle for silent dogs. Is your dog quiet? Whistle at him and he'll run.
That dog is violently silent.
Then we got some BMX.
That's pretty
cool.
So
that's our Spider-Man adventure for today.
All right.
It was okay. Nothing to write home about.
I like the graphics. His
eyebrows are not as protruding as eyebrow flash.
But he does look insane on the cover.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, because that's more of a life drawing than
have to be. He's way more feathery on the cover. Look at how shaggy his neck.
On the inside drawings, his muscles are huge. I like on the cover. It's more
skinny.
bird-like.
Yeah.
Vultures
aren't known for their muscles. He looks like he'd be like, yeah, see?
I know.
Spider-Man.
Well, he's old like that. You get old like that.
Everybody talks like that when they get old.
So my comic is
Night Force.
DC Night Force.
I've never heard of Night Force.
And this is number 2. It is 1982, I believe.
Yeah.
And I know.
You're right. Dang. I like this cover. I like that monster.
I know.
Mist monster.
I know. And I just thought it kind of appealed to me for the graphics of the cover, the color,
It's got like
and
a heartburn belch.
I and I hadn't heard of them. I do not remember this. And being in '82, I would have been a freshman in college.
I know that when they release magazines and stuff, the
Starting
month
my sophomore
is
year, sorry.
different than. But this is stamped June. It's like, what that's a pretty far out.
I was
3
thinking
months
about
ahead or
that too
something?
because this was a short-lived comic. It only lasted a couple years. It's by I love his name, Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan, and they worked together on the Tomb of Dracula. So they're into the more
Supernatural
kind of stuff, and yeah. So I hadn't heard of it. The cover looked interesting, and that's why I chose
You always
it.
hear about the Wolf Man. I never knew his name was Marv. See, everybody calls me Wolf Man. You can call me Marv.
So, and I like the logo. I like the
It's
skull
spooky.
in there. Yeah, and a lot of promise to it. So this is comic number 2.
Hey, Night Force, Mega Force. Everything was a force.
Is that? Oh no, that's
I
like
thought it was Chuck Norris for
the
a second. or something.
sideways Chuck Norris, Josh Brolin Norris.
He's the Walmart Chuck Norris. He's
So,
got a weird chest.
Are
back.
you man enough for Megaforce?
No,
Deeds, not words.
I don't have grit.
We all know I don't have grit. But
The Burning Hand.
yeah, so this is episode 2, and basically what Night Force is, it's a group put together by the Baron, who
Oh, the
is
Baron.
the Baron.
We all
Baron
know the Baron.
Winters. Yeah, he apparently put together this team to fight supernatural threats, and
We even have a Shakespeare quote. Wow.
I
Classy.
know. I was reading it and I thought, wow, this is pretty intense. If parents had read that, especially people in Florida, and then they get to, oh, it's Shakespeare. We gotta ban him. But that guy doesn't know anything. But anyway, so apparently throughout the run of this comic, the people who are involved with whatever adventure they're on or fight they're in can change. But the Baron is a sorcerer. He can't leave his house. Something. It didn't get into why, but he can't leave. So he put together this team to do fighting for
Get
him.
social anxiety.
It's crippling social anxiety. But anyway, so we're dealing with this professor in Georgetown at a university. They're
Georgetown is
sanctioned.
in Washington, D.C., I think.
They're sanctioned by the government to do these experiments because the government wants to find a way to use the evil that's out there for, all the good that the government does. So anyway, we open with some sort of ceremony going on. They're calling it the summoning. And
You can call it the summoning if you want.
I'll call it the summoning.
Ooh, that's a cool
Yeah.
splash.
Yeah. And I like how it's, I love how the panels are
Georgetown
going.
College. I like how they make the letters all wiggly.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah.
supernatural.
So we've got Donovan Crane.
Oh,
Kane.
Vanessa Van Helsing must
Yes.
be a Dracula reference.
Yes. And Donovan Kane. And what they're doing, she's he thinks that she's like the portal into opening up to have access to the evil that they need. And it's showing the intensity of the summoning, and all these entities are coming even out of her toes are coming
Take
out,
a bath.
and she's screaming. It's getting more and more intense.
I like that one.
Yeah,
Weird eyes.
yeah. This one is crazy.
Sharp teeth.
And then we've got reporter
Jack Gold.
Jack Gold, the reporter, and he's outside the door, and he's on the case, and he's actually a part of the Baron's team, but right now you don't kind of know that. And then you've got Donovan's wife and child,
Marianne.
and Marianne, his wife Marianne, and she shows up, And then you have these two people who are from the Pentagon who are following.
Wow.
They're
They're
kind
not
of
from the pentagram.
they're kind of keeping an eye on him to make sure that he's doing what the government wants them to do. So the Jack there, he's hearing all the screaming and stuff, and it's intensifying, and he doesn't like it. And she's telling him, settle down. It takes a long time. I'm used to it. Blah blah blah. And then these guys show up, and she doesn't like being followed by these guys, keeping an eye on them. This
Sergeant
ad,
Shark.
this ad is crazy.
I'm Sergeant Shark, and this is my parrot, Gaff.
They drew him
Gaff, is that
like
what that says?
they were using a toy as their. And he's
Yeah, the art declines. I really like this parrot with the eye patch and his derpy little eye on the other side. Look at that.
and he's Sergeant Shark, but then when push comes to shove, he takes his shark and whacks a bomb away with them. It's like,
uses him like a baseball bat.
yeah, it's like if Sergeant Shark was part of your name, like Aquaman would never do that.
I can see why they didn't put an artist credit on this. I would not be proud
His
of this.
hand is huge compared to his legs. Yeah, but you could order the shark tooth.
That's really what this is all about, selling shark teeth.
But this made me sad.
I know.
Wow. So anyway, they're talking, and everything's intensifying. The screaming's getting louder. So, of course, Jack has to open the door, not knowing that all those entities are flying about the room.
Oh,
and as he does it, there's this huge explosion in town. It cuts to downtown. Everyone's going to the movies. Well, everyone, and everything starts to explode. All these entities
The door was the only thing keeping him in?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, but look, he breaks the circle, which, you don't do that.
Never do that.
Never break the
bad
circle.
form.
And, yeah, so it says, and for a very brief moment, he knows how Adam must have felt while contemplating Eden's fable apple.
I like this explosion.
It's so dramatic.
It's like going upside down.
Yeah, so so it doesn't go in any farther with the downtown right away. But when I saw that panel and how he did that, I just pictured all those things whipping through the door, and possessing whoever they come across. But anyway, so you have all these people who are injured and he grabs Van Helsing and whisks her away while Donovan's wife is, are you okay? And Donovan wants her back because he wants to finish what he was summoning.
She's the whole damn gateway to hell.
Yeah, he's convinced that she is the key to what they need. So Gold takes her away, and you have the Mary McDonald reporting the Doorway Project, or Donovan Project, sorry. Van Helsing has been taken by Jack Gold, reporter. Our agents need advice. Do nothing, Mary. Let Mr. Gold make a fool of himself. I'm certain Dr. Kane will react as predicted. So then you cut to this panel where they're pulling this car up
Arlington, Virginia.
out of the river where it busted through. And do these guys look familiar?
The two government guys?
And they're riddled with bullets.
Riddled with them? Was it the Riddler?
So you got to wonder who these guys are.
Oh, imposters, huh?
Has to be. So then elsewhere, Gold had taken her to
creepy
his rundown.
voids for eyes.
I know, that made me think that maybe he was possessed, but I think it was just somebody forgot to fill in the whites of his eyes.
It happens.
Because it goes into, he's rescued her, making sure she's okay. And it cuts to him thinking about needing a drink. So they talk, a little romance happens, and
hey, he's got a cheetah or something.
I know. And then Donovan and his wife go to talk to the Baron at his place.
Those eyebrows.
Uh-huh.
He's like, he goes to the same eyebrow place that the Vulture
And
goes to.
maybe in the first one it shows more about the Baron. This is about it for him. Now he has a few more panels, but that's about it.
Baron von Eyebrows.
He's got this big cat, a jaguar maybe, or a leopard. And so they come and they're like, hey, Crane's or Gold's got Van Helsing. What do you want? You know, what should we do? And he's like, well, would you care for a drink? He just seems a little.
Ooh, I like that purple and yellow sky.
Yeah, he's a little casual, like he's not in a big hurry to see this through.
Got his bowl cut going on.
Yes, it's kind of reminiscent of what was Dark Shadows. That was like a supernatural soap opera when I was a kid. We'd come home from school and watch it, and it was creepy. And he was like a vampire that awoke and was part of this family. And yeah, it was pretty good. Johnny
I don't think
Depp.
I've seen that, but I've
The
heard of
movie
it.
sucked, but the series was good. As a kid, it was creepy. But anyway, so they talk about what's going on and how Gold's got Van Helsing, and kind of introduces you to the Baron. And he tells them that he probably has where he's familiar with, a rather rundown, dreary motel. Would you care for its address? And please, Dr. Kane, don't be too angry with Mr. Gold. He isn't trying to hurt her. So that indicates that, he's familiar with this guy. And then they walk out into the garden, and Marianne is like, oh, it's a nice garden. You take care of it? Of course, my dear, with loving and gentle care. So, yeah, this guy is just kind of
He needs somewhere for his
interesting.
leopard to hang out.
Yeah. So as they speed off to go find Van Helsing, he activates his little secret door here, and him and his cat go on down to investigate.
That's where the litter box is.
Yeah. And so then you cut to downtown again, and the cops are all there, and they're like, all this explosions, and there's blood, and
I never see cop cars with the little bubble light on
yeah,
'em.
that's pretty.
Bring it back.
Pretty old fashioned. But they're like, there's blood everywhere, and this detective shows up, and it that's disgusting.
He's tasting the blood or smelling it.
I think he's
smelling
smelling, because they
Smells
talk
pretty
about the smell of sulfur and cordite.
Oh, I saw that earlier, yeah.
And sulfur, of course, is like, rotten eggs. And cordite, I had to look it up, but
I think it's an explosive.
people, yeah, in writing, in books and stories and stuff, they'll say that something smells like cordite, insinuating that it's got like a gunpowder smell, but it's different than like it doesn't smell like how gunpowder now smells. Like during World War II, when the British was down to like just obsolete powders, they would mix cordite in, and so once, just to, I guess, use what they had left. And so that's where there's that connection with gunpowder, but it doesn't smell like what we would think of gunpowder smelling like. So it's just kind of one of those writers things. Writers,
It's just like a little shorthand way
yeah,
to suggest that smell.
yeah. So, but I thought that was really interesting.
Squish. I never drove through a puddle and made that sound. Squish. Maybe I did. Now that I say it out loud, maybe I did.
I don't think my Honda can go that fast. So anyway, Donovan Kane and his wife are speeding away, trying to find Gold, and she doesn't like that he's speeding. But then she looks back and like, they're following us. So then she's like, hey, lose them. I hate that they're following us. It's like, make up your mind. But then these
These are the
guys,
imposter guys.
I think they're
Possibly.
impossible. Yeah, they have to be, because they were alive and then they showed dead, and then now they're alive, so they have to be. But so they decided to give him something to watch.
That looks fun. This toy set.
Yeah. Oh,
47-part system creates 1,000 toys. I think they're like, it's like modular. You can change. It's like Legos or something like that.
When I was a kid, my dad loved these little kits like this, and we'd go to Radio Shack and get those, like, make a transistor radio or
yeah.
We never got it to work.
They didn't work?
No, you could get the dials that, make the sound of static and stuff, but you never really got anything. I don't know. Maybe we're not the
You only had
electricians.
grit radio stations. That was the only thing you got out in the country.
Maybe that's why you don't grade yourself when you're becoming.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they bust in
Be
the.
taller. Okay, I'll try. Thanks for the encouragement. Sorry.
That's amazing. Oh
A
wow.
lot of these are preying upon people's insecurity. Learn how
Oh,
to fight. Get
definitely.
big muscles. Learn how to fight. Get big muscles. Be taller. Poem set to music. Muscles. Unusual stamps.
And what
Muscles.
what demographic do you think they're
Nerds.
but
Tired of
what
getting beaten up?
gender?
Boys.
Isn't that well, I mean, I guess some girls would maybe want to be taller, but
Who knows? Well, new home study course for self-defense. Can you grade yourself?
I'm a black belt.
I'm self-certified. I
Purple
beat
belt.
the crap out of myself to get this black belt.
Oh, crazy. So they bust in and they take Van Helsing back, and Gold is just like, damn her, and the Baron, and Kane, and that dog. Oh, I mean cat. So anyway, yeah, so he gets smacked by Kane, and he's like, I quit.
I like his purplish pink car. It's a weird color for a car.
It's
You don't see them like that.
purple is kind of, like if you see a purple motorcycle, it doesn't to me show like a powerful machine. Like red, it's like, oh, that's fast,
Yeah.
or black, that's powerful and whatever.
Purple?
But purple, it's I don't know. But so anyway, he quits. He wants to quit. And he actually wants a drink, but then he gets a call, and Baron's on the other line, and that's when our guys, who happen to be
Always
everywhere,
Cutting the phone line.
cutting the phone line, that old-fashioned trick that worked. And so they take her back and start the process of the summoning again. And Marianne decides to stay next to her. She said, I've been through this. I've done this with him. I'll take care of you. I'll stay with you. Don't worry. And Van Helsing was like, okay. And she agreed to it. And they start the summoning again.
And we're back to square one.
Back to square one. But it starts to intensify. And they're at it again. We break in now. No, wait. We've been told to make certain she's the right one. It won't be long. So everybody knows that Van Helsing is the key.
He probably hasn't told the truth since he was in diapers.
Oh, yeah. That's a writer for you.
He still
But he
wears them.
still kind of looks possessed, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's spooky.
Anyway, so
Ooh,
it
I like that face.
Yes, it intensifies, and everything starts. All these entities start coming out again, and then they
no.
bust in, and this guy, of course, shoots. It hits Van Helsing in the shoulder, goes right through. She doesn't feel it because she's so caught up in the moment, and then all these things start swirling and whirling, and they start dying and burning. And Donovan can't control what's going on, and other things. And then all of a sudden, this hand grabs Marianne, and he rushes over, and there's the smell of burning
naked guy.
things. Yeah, all these.
I like the wow, and it's like they're switching locations so much. It's very cinematic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Several different locations.
So
just
Gold's
on the same
running.
page.
Yeah, Gold's running there. These guys are like, oh shit, what if, what is it? What's she doing? It's like, you did it, you idiot. You did it. And Marianne's grabbed by this big entity, and Donovan goes to save her, and he can't And she starts to
Like how his hand
burn.
pops out of the panel gutter like that.
Yeah, this is
And sometimes the thing creeps over it too.
nice. It's a nice layout. It's like he can almost grab it, but
It's really gross, so he
yeah,
stops.
no.
Ugh.
And finally, Gold makes his
Damn,
way
she's
in.
gone.
Yeah, she burns up,
Holy crap.
and all these people are dead.
She's dust now? Damn.
Uh-huh. He's like a bat out of hell. And yeah, all these people are dead. And it says to be continued in the Night Force, number 3, on sale July 15th. But this is September's issue.
Yeah, what the hell? Well, I guess it was stamped June,
But that's
though.
June,
so
right? So,
I don't know. They get ahead.
and yeah, this gives you a little more info, and
Oh, wow.
it's interesting though. I'd like to know more about the Baron. I looked through the stack that I had, and this was the only one I could find. I didn't
I don't think
find.
I've seen a Night Force. I just went through my boxes, and I don't think I've seen a single issue. But I'll look again now that I know to look for it. See if we can get a conclusion of this story.
Yeah, I'd like to find one. I think this is 2 out of 4. Is it
3.
3? Maybe.
No, I don't know.
I don't. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to see how the Baron chose the people he chose. Because like Gold is working for him, but nobody else knows that Gold is working for him.
Oh, I see.
So, or it appears that way. So, yeah, it's interesting. And is Marianne gone for good? I mean,
Well, she's a pile of dust.
but
So probably.
does she come back in spirit form? Can they summon her? I mean, who
Hey,
knows?
they were trying to turn Spider-Man into dust. She turned into dust. There's something in common here.
Ah,
I was looking for those connections.
her webbing isn't as good as his.
Clearly.
Anyway,
That's
yeah,
pretty
so
cool, though.
that's Night Force. That's the first time I had read them. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. And it was definitely one that Grandma bought after I went to school. My sister was still at home, so your Aunt Kathy probably read this one, but I didn't.
I didn't take Grandma for a spooky person.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Really?
Yes, she loved all those Boogeyman Will Get You. And,
Really?
yeah, she loved them.
I like the art in this a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they did a really, really nice job.
Well, all right. If you like this content, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and give us your suggestions, anything that you want to see, and thanks for watching.